Now let's continue this, right? Part two of witchcraft in business, God in business, altars in business, covenants in business. Why is it important for your business to be connected to an altar? And why are you only able to experience success connected to an altar regarding business? And like I brought up in my last video, part one, right? I spoke about how when witchcraft is connected to businesses in your bloodline, that this could be one of the main reasons why you're struggling with your finances today. And I mean, period, when witchcraft is in your bloodline, period, this is why you may be struggling with your finances today. So I'm still going to keep Acts 16, 16 and so forth as an example. So it's going to be based off that. But then also based off Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the 12 tribes, and the fact that God was able to bless them and that they were connected to him, and that their riches continued to endure amongst the generations as long as they stayed in covenant with God, and they continued to stay the head as long as they were in covenant with God. And when people outside of covenant with Jesus were connected to their altars, how their riches was only based off the backs of other people, which is always the case when it comes to witchcraft. When witchcraft is involved, they always have to step on the back of somebody else for them to continue to prosper. This is the nature of witchcraft. This is the system of witchcraft. This is the order. Whether they're stealing people's destinies to give to other people and bless them in that specific area, or whether they're just cursing you for their lives to be blessed, or whether they're sucking your energy out of your body, whether that be through sex magic, whether that be through root work, whether that be through whatever means it takes for their lives to be blessed. This is how it's getting done, okay? Through tarot cards, through mediums, through nature, the nature of that nature, workers of iniquity, okay, magicians, etc., stuff like that, right? Now, Pete, when the children of God was in covenant with Jesus Christ, with Jehovah, with Yahweh, right? They always prospered as long as they stayed in covenant with the Lord. When they broke covenant with God is when you saw them become a byword and a reproach amongst people and amongst nations. And the funny thing about it is, every time the children of Israel fell and they went into a different land, they were always scared of the fact that a God like that would do that to his own people. But also in the midst of that, God was trying to show the people and show the children who were his of Israel, right? The fact that this is what happens when you break covenant with me. When you break covenant with me, you are no longer the head. You are no longer a high priest. You are no longer in a royal priesthood. You are no longer servants of the Most High. You are now slaves amongst people that you do not know. You will be stepped on. You will be oppressed. You will be trampled over. This is why they landed in Egypt. All because the covenant with God was broken, which kept them above their enemies, which kept them above a people that did not belong to Christ. Now today, people have the choice to belong to Christ or not. So it's not the same as it was, meaning an ordained people, the children of Israel, being those people who was only able to prosper because those were God's people. It was people like the Assyrians and like the Phoenicians and etc. and so forth that they did not belong to God. So God was not going to bless them. He also told the children of Israel not to intermarry, not to marry, not to intermingle, none of that, right? But all of this has to boil down to the covenant process that God told us to stay in with him. So why is covenant so important when it comes to business? Why is altar so important when it comes to business? Why is this so important? And why are you able to prosper connected to witchcraft concerning your business? And why are the children of God able to prosper concerning God? Connected to God. The bottom line, once again, only one of us is really prospering here, because as soon as you turn your back on the same God you covenant to, meaning outside of Yahweh, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, you're going to lose every single thing you partnered with whatever demon for. Anything that has come from the spirit that you partnered with, you're going to lose it, okay? Because it never was blessed in the beginning. It came with a cost, it came with a price. And that's why your idols are stripped away as soon as you come to Christ. Everything falls off your life as soon as you come to Christ, because it was not built on him. Your money was not built on him, so you start struggling with stuff that you had when you was covenanted to a different spirit, okay? Now in Acts, once again, when this lady was covenanted to her demon, she also got money not for herself, but also the people that she served, the people that she was bound to, because witchcraft and business are connected, which is why the industry is very successful, because it's built off the back of it's you gotta peep that it's a two-part process. Anybody in witchcraft is prospering, okay? And I'm not saying every single person, but people who are really doing this stuff and working in it, they're prospering. It don't seem like they failing. It don't seem like they lacking. But it's also built off the backs of cursing people to get where they need to be. Of manipulating, how can you manipulate spiritual forces, which is what I said in a different video. You can't manipulate ancient beings that came here and was on this earth before you. You're just deceived. That's just the reality of it. And the thing about it is, like I said, it's a two-part business, right? Yeah, cool. I'm prospering in the natural off the back of demonic powers, but then boom, demonic powers are present and they're also having me push their agenda through me, but we're both prospering because I want money and they want souls. So this is why the battle for souls is so great, but also the love of money is corrupting plenty of souls. Which goes back to the video I just did, the love of money, right? But you peep, like, altars, business, covenants, business, God, business. You can prosper just with walking with God. It don't come with a cost. It comes with a necessary walk to build your patience, to build your endurance, to build your longevity, to build your long suffering, your spiritual strength, your spiritual fruit, godly fruit, you know? That's what it comes with. So, yeah, you're not gonna see failure when it comes to people connected to demonic altars, because the covenant between them and demonic spirits is a promise on the demon side to bless them. Just like when Jesus was encountered by Satan on the mountain, he offered him immediately to serve him, and I'll give you everything, right? Everything that your heart desires, I'll give it to you. But then at the same time, he was also testing how strong his covenant was with his Father, even though he's God on earth. As long as you in your heart know that the nature of God does not fail, the promise of God still stands, that God is still the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that as long as you walk in obedience and stay in your covenant with him, that the same blessings that was upon Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the 12 tribes will literally rest upon your life, you have nothing to worry about. But when you start questioning, and when your root was never that strong from the beginning, you'll see a lot of compromise. You'll see a lot of, like it say in Revelations, they trading their soul in for silver. You'll see a lot of trading their soul in to gain something on this earth. That's when you'll begin to see that come into play. So back to that, when they saw that Paul casted that spirit out of that woman and that covenant with that demon was no longer going to bring her or them profit, guess who got the backlash? The servant of God. That's because the altar that was being honored, the spirit that was being served, is what kept money coming in. So at the same time, well, once again, the devil wanting souls and human partnership and their wickedness in their heart and their love of money overflowing that, right? That partnership came real easy because, okay, hold on. I'm trading you a soul for my bread. Copy. Light work. Okay? Easy money. But in reality, souls are added upon your soul. Souls are added upon your soul, and you have to pay the price, and you have to give an account. And that's a scary but a very real thing. It's up to you how long you want demonic covenants to stand in your life and in your bloodline, or how long or how much you really want to pursue a godly blessing, a long-lasting, enduring blessing over your lineage. Because it's only one people that did not, question, fail when it came to covenanting. It was the children of Israel. And at this point in time, of course, through Jesus Christ, everybody have blood-bought adoption into becoming a child of God, whether you were originally chosen or not, his chosen people, royal priesthood or not, okay? We all have the ability to become sons and daughters of God. But once again, you want your lineage to be blessed, you want to be blessed, then you stay on the threshing floor at God's feet, and you declare your anything that was before you broken, and you declare covenants with God. You walk out in obedience, so God's covenant stands over your life and over your lineage, because that's the only way that you'll be blessed. So godly covenants, successful business. Demonic covenants, when you come to God, you're going to lose what was built off of him. But altars God business.